What's up, y'all? And I just wanted to talk to you about something that I see super commonly all the time, and what that is, names. The number one thing that I see on Facebook feeds, on questionnaires, on YouTube channels is how to choose your new name. And I wanted to talk to you today about the importance of names and also about how I chose my name and what I believe is a good way to choose a name that suits you. Now, in terms of the importance of names, right? There's been a brand new study done by Dr. Stephen T. Russell that details how the use of new names rather than, or the use of chosen names can actually reduce depression rates as well as suicide rates. And, you know, when you think about it, that's really a no-brainer, but to have scientific proof to show your parents is really important. Once again, that's Dr. Stephen T. Russell, and that shows that using your chosen name drastically improves suicide rates among trans youth. And that's really important research that's being done, and so it's really good to see that being done. Now, in terms of how to go about using your chosen name, I see maybe 10 times a day on my feed, on my Facebook feed, on YouTube questions, someone posting a selfie and then asking other people what they think suits them in terms of a name. And this is an alright way to go about it, but at the end of the day, you're letting someone else name you, and I think that kind of takes some power away from you. And also, sometimes you get given names that you really don't like. Like, maybe you know a guy named Kyle that you just really don't like for some reason, right? If you don't like Kyle, then getting the name Kyle suggested for you might be frustrating. So I like to take that power away from other people and give it to yourselves. The one thing that I will say is that in some cases it can be good if your parents are struggling with the whole trans thing, if working with them to either choose a middle name or a first name, it can be beneficial. But again, if it's hard to work with them, or if they don't want to be involved in that process, if you don't want them involved in that process, then there is a way that I use that works for me, and here it is. I made a list of my top 10 favorite names. I went on name sites that were popular in the year that I was born, and kind of found my favorite names, and then wrote them down, and then I went and looked in a mirror, and I introduced myself using each of the names. So, my name is Kyle, and I would look in the mirror, and I also like the name Jason. So I looked in the mirror, and I said, "Nice to meet you, I'm Jason." And then I looked in the mirror, and I said, "Nice to meet you, I'm Kyle." And I repeated that with 10 different names, my 10 favorite names. And I went back and I kept doing it with the names that felt best, the names that felt right when introducing myself, that felt like it suited me. And Kyle is what I came to. Now, the other reason that I chose Kyle over Jason, one of the primary reasons, I felt good introducing myself using both of them. But one of the nice things about keeping Kyle over Jason was that it did keep my initials the same as my dead name, which was helpful when doing things like making a LinkedIn account when getting into the business world, right? One of the things that I was able to do is make a LinkedIn account that was KM, my last name, and keeping my chosen name, Kyle, and my dead name had been started with a K as well. That enabled me to go ahead and make these accounts and start doing things that I wouldn't have to change when I eventually did come out and start going by my chosen name as well. So just a few things to think about. And then in terms of middle names, I also had a middle name. Like I said, my dead name, my middle name was M, and so I was thinking of a way to keep it M. Now, I'm very lucky. I have parents that I love very, very much, and that includes a dad. I have a dad that I love very, very much, and he's really the man that I want to be when I grow up. And so I decided to honor that. And his name is Michael, and so I took his name, Michael, as my middle name. So it's Kyle, Michael, and then my last name, which again keeps my initials. So when I went on my LinkedIn account and I changed it, I could make it KM, my last name, and I didn't have to change anything when I came out. That I didn't have to kind of change the initials that I went by. So that's always a good thing. It helped me choose my name, and I think it's a strategy that I've given to a couple of my younger friends. At the end of the day, though, it is a name that you want to represent who you are and kind of vibe with, and so it's a really, really critical thing. And so I would advise you to take your time choosing a name, and it's your choice. It's all about you, and that's the nice thing. So it's been nice to see you. If you have any other strategies, disagree, agree with what I said, let me know down in the comments below. If you like the video and want more kind of talks about how to choose names, about my personal journey, about other common questions, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And other than that, I will see y'all next week. Have a good day.